What's up, everyone? This is Paradox from the Helios Virus channel, and today I'm going to bring you my brief overview of the Season 28 patches and how I think this is going to end up changing what's going on. Now, I'm not going to go over the patch notes. If you want to look at the patch notes, I'll link them in the description below. But this is going to be my take on how I think some of the buffs, the changes, and how this season is going to interact with what has been going on for the majority of this life cycle. So there's really three big things that I'm going to touch on. We're going to look at the altar of rites and what I think is going to be really great, what's not so great, what can be worked on. I'm going to look at my starting set that I'm going to be going for, and then we're going to look at one of the other sets that I think is really controversial but has the potential. They just need to fix it. So the first things first, I'm going to be starting Wizard. I am going to be going Hydra Wizard. And the reason for this is that Hydra for greater rifts, it's been pretty decent. It's always been kind of sitting around maybe like A tier, high B tier. It's been very consistent. It's been very good, but it's not great. It's not the LOD monks. It's not your Rancor barbs. It can do it, but it can do it at a much slower pace. The big thing for this is that the 6-piece set is switching from Hydra's deal 2,000 to Hydra's deal 4,000. So that's kind of the reason I'm starting this. The other thing that is probably going to be coming on, Demon Hunter's getting a lot of reworks, and so is Monk. Generator Monks can be super strong this season. Just because the amount of buffs and the time buffs that it got, it's going to be really, really useful. The other thing is going to be Demon Hunters. The 6-piece UE Demon Hunter set, that got a buff. It got a 5 times buff. It's going to be super duper strong. Very, very viable. And then you have the brand new Trap Demon Hunter. My understanding, the Trap Demon Hunter is cool. It's fun, but it's not great. It's just okay. It's kind of going to be a meme build. This is still up in the air whether they can change all this. So it's a cool idea, but they just got to tweak a few things. The next thing that I'm going to talk about is going to be the altar of rites. So for the majority of this, it's pretty good. I think that this was an excellent way to give someone something to work towards outside of the season journey. With that being said, a lot of these are really good, have great quality of life, have great bonuses. Some are really just not good. So I'm going to break these down into what I think like the first ones you should get, for just because they're huge milestones. It's really important to get them. It's just going to make everything so much easier. Then I'm going to have like my quality of life stuff, and then it's going to be the stuff that isn't so good that needs to get touched on. So first things first, the 25% movement speed uncapped, that's huge. For the fact that it says uncapped is the biggest thing. The next thing I would probably get would be progression orbs automatically picked up. This is huge, so you don't have to worry about on-death effects, waiting for them to go away, or having to work around them. You can just kill it, continue moving on. You'll automatically get it picked up. We have the CC effects immunity. That's super strong. You have the pets pickup and salvage common magic rare items, because by the time that you get to this, you're not going to need any of those. You're going to be looking into your set pieces, your legendary pieces. All of this isn't going to matter to you. So this is a huge quality of life, because at this point it's not going to clutter up any of this. It's really, really good. And then the last thing would be elite packs drop an additional progress orbs. So instead of just getting that 5% from elites, you're now going to be looking to get that 6%, which 1% doesn't sound like a lot, but for the fact that most of your greater riff speedrunners, they're strictly just targeting those elite packs, going and killing them, getting that extra 1% is going to mean a big difference to them. Now, there's also been some like great quality of life things, like the pets can pick up DBs, you can get extra DB drops, you can have double the chance for your gambling legendaries. So once again, by the time that you get here, you are going to be looking to get very specific set pieces. You may need some legendaries, so this is going to help you really be able to focus in and get those a little bit easier. You have some good damage buffs. You have like the bosses by 25%, elites 20, reduced damage from elites. I think this one's increased damage to elites, so it's a 35%. Then you have a 25% down here. You have the double amount of bounty cache. So if you're gonna be doing a lot of bounties, it's be something great to pick up, especially if you're looking to finish a few conquests or just need a bunch of like a mass amount of crafting materials. Now, with that said, anywhere between half to like 75% of the tree, pretty decent. Like, not some of the ones I didn't touch on weren't horrible, but they're not like the best. With that being said, there are some that I think are just bad. They just need to get reworked. Pools of Reflection, I think it's great, but it could be better. For the fact that it's great that it lasts the entire season, but by the time that you get to the point where you want to level a second character, or you're doing like higher Paragon stuff, you're not going to really need this. You're going to have pretty much a min-max character, or if you're doing a second level character, people are going to be able to power level you. I'm sure that there's going to be someone out there that doesn't mind power leveling you. Missile damage reduction, not bad. Could be better. 200 damage, I think, is horrible. This will probably be the very last one I would ever get, just because at this point, I'm at 1.2 million damage. 200 damage isn't going to do anything for me. I think that the vigor is pretty bad. The only thing that this is going to be really beneficial to is going to be the Spirit Generator Monk. I think this is going to be a huge benefit to them because the Spirit Generator attacks are their main focus of damage. But outside of that, not super great. 10% damage, it's okay, but it's just you can get other things that are better at this point. Same thing with the 15% damage. It's okay, but compared to the other things that are down here, it's not great. I'm going to be completely honest, I'm not 100% sure what that does. And then the last thing is the potions and the ultimate. I'm kind of torn because the potions are very situational. For the fact that you have such a large cooldown on your potions, it's 30 seconds. Like these are cool, but they're so situational. They're very inconsistent. So it's whenever you use one, you get these great effects, but that's once every 30 seconds. And then for the primal item, which is great because most primals that you're going to get that drops are trash. So you'll just trash them and create one of your other ones for primals. But once again, it's very niche. You're not going to be able to use it a lot. So the other thing that I'm going to show you is just, I like this build. I think it's going to go really far. We'll do, just to make this a little bit quicker. We can do, obviously you can see that this is my, like, I don't have amazing gear. Like some of it's ancient, but no like primal ancients, nothing crazy like that. The gems are all fairly leveled, 25 or not, but this is the only one that's high level, 74. We'll go do a 90 just to make this quick. So idea behind it is that we're gonna do storm armor to kind of dash through most of this stuff, and you can get some really good buffs on the way. But a lot of times, like as you can see, I'm just kind of decimating everything. The extra damage with the Hydras is huge because we went from a total of 20,000 increased damage to 40,000 just because it doubles everything. Now I will say, I wish this build was a little bit quicker. The fact that it relies on teleport is okay, but it could be a lot better. But overall, the killing potential and just how fast that it can go through everything is great. I like that I don't have to specifically stop and kill elite packs. Everything gets killed very quickly. Clears entire screens. That was a big thing for me, is that I don't want to just strictly go and look for elites, I want to be able to kill everything in a fairly timely manner. Because I mean, yeah, hunting for elites is okay, but it's not my favorite playstyle. I would much rather kill a lot of the trash on the way to elites, but that's just my personal one. I don't really grind greater rifts like super high levels, so take that with a grain of salt, what you will. This should be finished up here pretty soon. For the skills, you're pretty much going to be using the same skills that you did last season. Nothing skill-wise changed. So we're still going to be using, I use the double teleport, I use Blizzard. Oh, I forgot the changes because I was running an Echo of Nightmares before. I think the highest Echo of Nightmares I've done was 130, consistently over 100, so it's not bad. But once again, I've only played this, I played like half of this season, hit like my conquest and got done with it, so I'm not, I haven't played a lot of, especially this build, played a lot of Monk. So I don't necessarily even have to put any of the extra buffs down. Like, I'm not using any of my buffs from my signature spells. I'm not having anything extra come along. Like, the Hydras do enough damage that I don't have to. Now, once you start getting into 100, then it starts to really benefit you just using the entire kit to its potential, but before then, it's not necessarily needed. Alright, almost going to be finished up with this. I will not be showing a Echoing Nightmares just because it's kind of the same idea. You'll see it whenever you play it. For the Echoing Nightmares, I do recommend doing changing a few of the skills to get you a little bit more survivability. So right now, the skills I have, if I was farming speed, I would switch this over to Scramble, and then strictly for the Echoing Nightmares, I put on Blur. You could obviously put on Elemental Exposure, or you'd put on Arcane Dino, just because you're going to be attacking so fast that you can, and you would end up changing out. You can change out these two. I had that on for the Echoing Nightmares because you could change it out to the Blood Bracers for the potency of the shield, seeing as this is always going to be active. And then, of course, the Shame. I don't know how to pronounce it. But this belt, because your signature spells attack 50% quicker. The more times you attack, the easier it's going to be to stack up that five attacks before you end up casting out one of your Hydras. But for the most part, that's the build. That's how it's going to work. If you have any questions, post it down in the comments below. Make sure to follow me over on Twitch at the Helios Virus, same panhandle. And then make sure to jump in the Discord, and so we'll start streaming here soon. We'll probably do a couple streams before Diablo 4 comes out. Diablo 4 is going to be the main content that we're going to push on this page. And if y'all want to see any other types of content, make sure to comment it down below. Thank y'all so much, and y'all have a good rest of your day.